Welcome to Rose Call. My name is Thee, Thee, and we're going to be journaling with oracle cards with the energies of Mary Magdalene, the Rose, and Mother Mary. It's all about you receiving your own messages, going within and trusting yourself, having an open mind, trying something new, utilizing your spiritual gifts. Today is the 5th, so I'm going to shuffle the cards like this. And then I'm going to pick the 5th card. One, two, three, four. Same thing for this deck. Shuffle. And then I'm going to pick the 5th card. The Alpha and the Omega. Every ending is a new beginning. The first will be the last, and the last the first. Christ's parable of the vineyard workers. Deep breath. Okay. Christ's parable of the vineyard workers describes a man who arrives in a vineyard late in the day, and yet he's given the same amount of pay for his brief labor as those who have been working hard since dawn. Christ explains that in the world to come, or in the world that already exists invisibly within this one, those who are last shall be first, and the first last. Matthew 20:16. This doesn't seem fair though, or just. And that's precisely what the parable is meant to do. It's meant to get us all caught up in our ego so that we can release it. If we really focus on what's fair according to the ego, we get tied up in feeling as if we were being cheated or betrayed. This comes from the ego's fear that there's only so much treasure to go around. We think this laborer, who only just showed up as the work was almost over, will take from what we will have received. According to the ego, what others get, we miss out on. There isn't a concept of plenty, only lack and scarcity. The ego can't conceive of an unconditional love that isn't concerned with what's fair. When it comes to who can receive it, the treasure is for everyone who shows up, whether we've only just started the work now or we've been laboring in the name of love our entire lives. Love is here for all of us. Equally, love operates on a system that's limitless, and this feels entirely unfair to the ego. When we realize this, that the last shall be first and the first last, the ego is released. And what had felt like a painful betrayal or an unjust situation expands into something new. We can revel in the unreasonable abundance of love. The Alpha is the first letter in the Greek alphabet, and the Omega is the last. So this is the practice, to keep releasing the ego, which means having massive amounts of mercy on ourselves and others. We keep reaching the Omega point so we can rise again, which means starting over. Going back to the beginning, humble, human, more merciful, more in love. Soul voice meditation. What egoic story can I release right now so I can start again? What egoic story can I release now so I can start again? The alignment be aligning, okay? I promise you, I had this conversation with my pomegranate tree this morning. Yes, a conversation with a tree. I was sitting here at my desk working, and ego was just going crazy, trying to make me feel all type of different energies, thinking all type of different thoughts, and I'm like, yo, let me go outside in nature, stand under the sun, and talk to my tree, Pommy, while I water her. And that's exactly what I did, and somehow the conversation got on egoic thoughts, egoic thought forms, egoic patterns. And I literally had to check myself this morning. That's so crazy that came up. The second bloom, a second chance, it's never too late, new possibilities. This is a card of second chances, new beginnings, regeneration, and reinventing yourself. It's never too late to surrender to what's blooming within you. All that matters is that you surrender to the buds that are longing to grow and be known. No matter your age or what may have previously occurred, this card is an invitation to surrender to a second bloom, to welcome the new and share it with the world, to acknowledge the secret passions, longings, creations, yearnings, and let them bud and bloom. If we properly allow things to end, new beginnings will always come. If we surrender to the cycles of love after winter, spring will always return. If we tend the seeds in the fertile earth, they'll eventually emerge. Just as we think the season's over and winter's drawing near, some rose bless us with an unexpected second bloom. If this card appears, it's likely a sign that you too are set for a second bloom. Perhaps you have a creation that's waiting to be brought forth. Or maybe it's a new relationship or passion in your life. Maybe what's waiting to be born is a new version of you. The more open we are to change, the more open we are to life. The more open we are to life, the more open we are to being born again, anew. Yes, this is what it means to truly live. Being open to saying yes to life. So when you eventually take your last breath, you'll do so while still fully living. Soul inquiry. What unexpected thing wants to bloom within you? What unexpected thing wants to bloom within you? The first will be the last, and the last the first. It's never too late, so if you tried to start a YouTube channel and it flopped, but it's still this urge in you that wants to do it again. But the ego like, nah, it's gonna flop again. You gotta check that. Because just because it flopped before doesn't mean it'll flop this time. Do something different. Be the new version of you instead of living in the past. If you've been drawn to writing a book and you like, nah, the market oversaturated and woo wop the bam, new possibilities. you wanted to be an entrepreneur and you tried before and it didn't work out for whatever reason, and you've been caught up in corporate America, or you've been caught up in any type of 9 to 5 that isn't doing anything for your soul, and you keep finding yourself thinking about those entrepreneurial days. Like, no, they were not the best, but you are not in the rat race. A second chance. Our Lady of Peaceful Change. Change is coming to you now, my dear child. It is a change that has been triggered by the loving prayers held deep within your heart. This change does not have to be difficult for you. Trust in me, and I shall ensure that you are supported through this change, that you are held safely and securely in my heart as you transition from one way to another. I would like you to use your energy for more worthy purposes than unnecessary worry. Trust me a little more and know that the changes you are encountering now or soon will are actually the blessings of my answer to your prayers. Our Lady of Peaceful Change comes to us when change is either happening now or on its way to us soon as an answer to a prayer. Not all change has to be difficult. Change can evoke thoughts of upheaval, uncertainty, instability, and even fear. We all have different capacity to accept change, depending on the circumstances and situation. Sometimes it might seem very frightening indeed, at other times it might not be so frightening. It may even be considered exciting, even while there are moments of confusion or uncertainty. Our Mother Mary understands that sometimes change feels very challenging, and sometimes there is very good reason for this. Perhaps the sheer magnitude of the change requires a lot of emotional energy in order for us to be able to take the leap. In such situations, we might actually need a bit of push from life, or a nudge from the Divine Mother to take the steps. Those nudges will come in the form of life circumstances that urge us to loosen our grip and let life happen more freely. Sometimes it will be a gentle lull in the waves of the great ocean of life, and we relax, let go, and flow. At other times, we need a big wave to overcome us in order to let go, and realize that it is actually safe to flow. The fear was only about letting go. However, the Holy Mother also knows that there are plenty of times when we worry or fear through change, and it is not necessary for us to do so at all. Our Lady of Peaceful Change comes to you now to allay any concerns you have about a change that is taking place right now or will soon come to you. She tells you that everything is going to work out for the best, and that although there might be some adjustments to make, there is nothing to be concerned about. She has taken care of all the details and you can relax. Trust that if you need to attend something, you will feel an inner nudge to do so. She is also letting you know that this change in circumstance or situation will actually feel better for you. It will free you up from something that you weren't consciously aware was holding you back. She asks that you trust her and trust that as you adjust to the change, you will realize that this is the answer to a prayer. The Oracle of Our Lady of Peaceful Change brings a general piece of guidance for those who have drawn this card, which is to trust a little more. Whether you relate to the experience of change in your life as happening now or believe that it needs to happen, she is asking you to pray to her and trust. All is happening in perfect timing. And whilst you can do all that is in your power when you can, don't believe that you have to force something to be. Change happens naturally as we grow. Trust it. Trust yourself. Trust her. Thank you for joining, and I do hope you are able to journal. Peace.